a quick lunchtime webinar today going over the available integrations that we have within NextChapter. Right now, those two main integrations are for our credit reports with UCS and our case management integration with Clio. So I'm going to go ahead and get started here. So the first one that I mentioned is going to be our integration with credit reports. We use Universal Credit Services for that. And with them, they help us to allow you to pull credit reports for your clients. Those are going to be tri-merged reports from the three main bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. And when you import those credit reports, they're actually going to import those claims directly into the schedules for you. So they're a big time saver. Here in a moment, I'll show you how that looks and how it works within NextChapter. But I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about the setup for that. So I'm going to start to share my screen to show you how you can, if you don't already have the credit report integration configured for your account, we can help you to get that set up. Settings in NextChapter for your firm, and we have a full section for the credit report integration. This here is going to bring you, if you haven't yet completed it, to the application that needs to be completed. So here's the full agreement that NextChapter will help you complete. So you can read through it to see everything that's being completed there. But you don't need to complete it on this screen. We'll actually automatically complete it for you with everything that you enter in here, much like we do in NextChapter with your client cases, completing the forms for you. After you complete this application, you will be charged a one-time fee of $75. So this is for an on-site inspection. This inspection is actually mandated by the bureaus, so it's a 20 to 30 minute on-site inspection. You do need to have a commercial office location to have this site visit. If you do work from a couple different locations, or you have a primary, like if you work from home and then an office that you meet your clients, we're always willing to work with you on that and see what we can do along with UCS as well. So let us know if you have any concerns about that, and we'll definitely we'll do everything we can to make sure we can get you set up for credit reports. So some of the things that they're checking for, just like to go over this real quick, really basic stuff that they're looking for. Want to make sure that you have locks on the doors, that you have a shredder in the office, that your computer is password protected, and that you have antivirus software on your computer. And then they also just want to verify your business as well. So again, that's a one-time fee. We do know that it might seem like an added layer to get this completed and your onboarding process, but it is a practical and necessary layer of security, and it is required by the bureaus as well. So after you complete that, the on-site inspection, we will have your account activated to start pulling reports in NextChapter within 24 hours. As you can see here, the tri-merged reports are $35 for an individual, $55 for joint. These fees themselves are actually going to be split on how they're charged. So the access fee is going to be charged by UCS for $16.50 for an individual and $31 for a joint. And then NextChapter charges you for the credit integration and then the report generation for $24 and $18.50. So in total, it'll be $35 and $55. So that sometimes can cause some confusion when you're seeing two different charges come through every time you pull a report. We do charge you at the time that you pull the report. So we don't do any monthly thing. At the end of the month, it's on a per case basis. So you're charged for exactly what you use, much like we do our per case pricing. So I'm going to go ahead and use here to show you what this looks like in NextChapter. Okay, so when you complete a credit report, you do need to have a little bit of information in here first to do so. The biggest thing is you need to have the debtor's residential address here. So once you have the residential address, then you can go ahead and pull a credit report. If you've already entered their date of birth in the debtor profile section, we're going to show you that date of birth and allow you to verify it, or you can add it here if you haven't added it yet, and then we'll also save it in that section for you as well. Here you will have some options, so you can decide if you'd like to omit any of the zero balances or if you want to omit any of the unknown balances. That's completely up to you, but that's actually choosing what's going to be imported into schedules D and E and F for you. You do need to check that the debtor does authorize you to pull the report. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to do both of these and saying that I allow NextChapter to charge me. Actually, let me enter in my fake social here. So requesting the report just takes a couple seconds here, and what's nice is it's actually going to generate the PDF right in this case for me. So depending on your browser and your PDF viewer, there's a couple different ways you can download. So with mine, I'm using Google Chrome. I can actually click right here and download a copy of this report directly to my computer if I'd like. Then you can print it or email it and provide a copy to your client, which is a nice takeaway. And it's a good reminder for them too, for any additional documents that they need to get back to you. They'll have this as a takeaway from any consultations that you guys have. So here we provide the scores from the 3 bureaus right here. And then all the creditors are going to be listed here. So here's my sample creditors for this fake case. So now when I go into secured claims and the unsecured non-priority claims, all of that information pulled into here. So I can see right now the 2 mortgages pulled into my unsecured non-priority claims. So we do make it really easy to go ahead, and if I want this to be in Schedule D because they're secured, I can say move to D, move to D. And if I already have that property listed in the real property section, all I need to do is link these claims to those property items. So I could say this is for my High Street property, that I'm going to keep it, and then it's the first. And let's say the other one is the second mortgage. I could do the same exact thing, assign it to that. So we're going to keep it, and this is the second mortgage. So it's really up to you in what order you pull the credit report. I've heard a couple different ways that people have done it, whether you want to do it on the initial consultation to get the idea of what the debt looks like, or I know attorneys who will wait pretty much until the very end to make sure they're catching all current balances and all creditors. So it really makes no difference in NextChapter. It's just a matter of figuring out how you want to make that workflow happen. For example, if you want to wait until the end, then I would suggest making sure you have all your property saved in. So then at the end, when you pull the creditors in, you're doing exactly what I just did. You'll already have the property here, and then you can assign it any creditors, secured creditors, to those property items. Or you can go ahead and pull the report first and then save in the property later. Completely up to you what works best to do that. So that's pretty much it with the credit reports. We do have a chat available in the application. So if you had questions about that, please send a message, and then we'll get, at the end, we'll kind of go over any questions you have. And it is a moderated chat, so feel free to put something that I can either read out loud, or if you want to discuss something with me later, maybe about getting your account set up, and I'll be sure to get to that as well. So the next thing I want to talk about is our Clio integration. So just like with the credit report integration, we do have that to be set up here in your settings. This one's already has the sync started. So just to give you a little bit of background about Clio, so we have this simple, it's really easy to use integration. NextChapter has some light case management tools within each case, but integrating with Clio really allows you to kind of take it to the next step. As far as your cases, especially if you have different types of cases as well. So if you're working in bankruptcy and some other areas of law, Clio is going to help you manage all of your cases in one spot. So it's going to help you with your workflow and your general case management as well. So the key things that Clio can help you with your firm is document management. They do have a lot of document automation, so letters that you send to your clients, you can generate a lot of those within Clio. It can help you with your onboarding process. When you have new clients come in, getting all their information. If you started it within Clio, if you have the sync going to NextChapter, it's going to automatically create a new case for you in NextChapter. So when you do the onboarding contact information, and if you indicate that it is a bankruptcy matter, that's going to automatically create that new case for you in NextChapter, so you're not having to do double entry. They also have a lot of great billing tools, and then they also have a ton of other integrations, such as NextChapter, and then many, many other applications they work with. So they're a really good conduit to work with and kind of link up a lot of your accounts together for your law practice management. So if you already have an account with Clio, you can integrate again just by coming here. Before this screen, what it would say is do you want to link your account? You would click yes, I want to link, and then it's actually going to connect you to your Clio account, and then Clio will ask you the same thing and say, do you want to sync? So once you've selected that you do, then you would come here to determine what you want to have syncing over. Contacts and bankruptcy matters. Again, any matter that's saved in Clio that's marked as bankruptcy is going to be syncing with NextChapter. If you have a ton of bankruptcy matters open in Clio and you don't yet have cases for them in NextChapter, starting this sync is going to pull all those over as brand new cases. So that's really nice, especially if you're making a transition over into NextChapter and you want all these cases opened. This will automatically do it for you. For the events, you can choose between if you want to have specific attorney events or the whole firms. That's going to pull those over as well. And then any of the events you have in NextChapter are going to go back over into Clio. And then lastly here is any tasks that need to be completed. Especially if you sign a due date, those are going to go over into Clio as well. So with these are the three things that we have syncing over right at this moment. But we are working on building more into this integration into one of our upcoming quarterly releases. So some things that we're going to include with this is going to be any documents. So documents that you save within each case would then sync over into Clio, and you'd have copies of them in both locations. And then the other one is the case comments. So when you're in a specific case, if you use our comment section, those will be here soon. We'll be syncing back and forth between the two programs. So there's a lot of information that you could use. You can actually save pretty lengthy comments in each case here in the case dashboard. So we're adding in the ability for those comments to sync back and forth. So then all of the case notes are kept up to date in both of the systems. Once you start the sync, it does sync every hour. So if you're working on a case and I come in here and I change their phone number or their email address, within the hour, that information is going to update in my case within Clio as well.